Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Empire Season 3, Episode 16. And the name of this episode is Absent Child. I have to say, this episode was fire. This is really good. All right, the episode opens up. We pretty much have the meeting of the families. You have the Lions versus the Dubois, and the Lions are questioning, where is Bella? We know you got her. Give Bella back. But Miss Diane pretty much plays very nonchalant, like she doesn't know what the hell is going on. And of course, Angelo doesn't know what's going on either. And, it even gets to the point it gets really heated where Cookie literally told Miss Diane, like, bitch, don't make me jump over this table. And Miss Diane was like, well, if you're feeling froggy, leap. I was like, oh shit, Miss Diane is like an OG. So, and then we also meet Ezekiel Dubois, who is the investment banker that pretty much got Snoop to not invest in the Inferno, but he ended up investing in it anyway. But we actually saw who he was, and he was right. He is like this real geeky looking guy. So, but we really see that the Dubois family really is a powerful family, and they got a lot of people in very, powerful positions throughout the community. You got politicians, bankers, FBI agents, like they got like legit people on their team. But then Lucius let them know, like, yeah, y'all may have all of that, but one thing you don't know about the Lion family, yeah, we may be street, but when we hit hard. So that was an interesting scene, and I liked how the way they came in with their glasses. You had Anika and Cookie walking in beside Lucius, and then the whole crew was coming in, and Hakeem was so distraught that Hakeem couldn't even be at the meeting because we know how emotional Hakeem gets, and right now Hakeem is just he was all torn up this whole episode, and that's what I'm about to talk about next. We have a scene where Hakeem and Anika actually go to Child Protective Services because they were supposed to been able to get Bella back, and the agent at Child Protective Services pulled up her records, and they have no idea where she is. And he says there's so many different injunctions and so many different cases involving this child that we may not know for a long time. Like the way the way that he said it is that the way it's looking, you may not see this child for a long, long time because there's so much against you guys that there's so much there's so many cases built up against Bella that they don't even know where the hell she's at because there's so much there they can't even track her. So, of course, that pisses Hakeem off, and it breaks down Anika. But one thing also that at first he had stressed that in order to get Bella back, we need to kind of, disperse as a family because as a unit, you guys don't look good on paper. Everybody got some shit on them. So Anika needs to help expedite this divorce so she can get custody of Bella, which she pretty much agrees to do so. Then, and talking about Hakeem, Hakeem is at home. He got all of his people around him, but he's totally not there because he's thinking about Bella. So he excuses everybody, and then he starts to video stream where he expresses his love for his daughter and how he hates the Dubois for taking her, and pretty much does this rap or whatever where he's talking about him. Breaking down, knowing that his seed is not with him and that, how much he yearns to have his daughter back in his life. Then we get a scene with Angelo, Diane, and their lawyer. And they had this white guy who's their lawyer. And Angelo was saying that, he pretty much asked Diane, are you sure you had nothing to do with, Cookie's granddaughter being taken? And Diana's like, look, I said I had nothing to do with it, but at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, after all, we know where we stand. And she says, like, and I can't stand them anyway. I mean, they done set the race back, you know, with their stupid lyrics and their thuggish lifestyle. And I was like, Diane, like, Diane is just giving, like, high society tease every time you see her. But she's definitely got an evil streak. Next thing you know, we see Hakeem's fans approach them, and they are picketing the living shit out of them, saying, give back Bella. Give Bella back. Give Bella back. Give Bella back. And they're, like, literally chanting this, and they are surrounded by, you know, Hakeem's fans who are picketing, you know, bring back Bella. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, it just goes to show you the power of the Lions. So just by him talking about it on, you know, on video stream, there was a whole movement that was built behind it. Thought that was pretty cool. Also in this, we also have this situation between Lucius and Jamal about this last track that they worked on, Father and the Son. Lucius wants to, you know, wants to spice it up for his album because it's going to go on both of their albums. Lucius' album is The Inferno, and Jamal's album is When Cooking Met Lucius. The song's going to go on both of their albums, but, you know, Lucius wants to tailor his a little more. He wants to give it more hip-hop edge or whatever. And Lucius is just saying, and, like, Jamal is like, what are you doing? I mean, you know, it's fine the way it is, and besides, we don't need an artist, but he says that I do have a better beat that can go to it, though. And Lucius ain't trying to hear him. You know, Lucius is still trying to get Jamal to go along with his plan. So what he does is that he brings in this rapper, you know, and we also saw old boy, I think his name is Tyreek, who runs the hood studio that always eating a cereal. He was there, and he was saying that, look, this rapper's ill, but the reason why he's late is because he got shot 4 times, allegedly. I was like, oh shit. And turns out the fucking rapper was Fetty Wap. And he is completely disoriented because he just got shot. He popping them pills, and we can see Jamal kind of buckle a little bit. I'm like, yeah, bitch, slow down. We done come too far. Y'all ass better not go back to that shit. But then, old boy gets in the booth and starts spitting, and while he's rapping, you literally see his wounds are bleeding. Like, you see blood coming through his shirt. Like, he cared more about rapping than about going to the hospital at that moment. But he gave an ill verse, though, and the shit was like that. And then here you go, you have Lucius talking about, see, that man's going to die for his words. He's going to die for the music. You see how that man is shot up and he still came, you know, he ain't fucking crawling no room like a little bitch and all this shit. And then Jamal, that really pissed Jamal off, because Jamal's like, first of all, let me clear up something. How many of y'all have been shot? And they all raised their hands, including Jamal, except for Lucius. He's like, exactly, Dad. See, you talk about all this thug shit and about this thug life, but everybody up in here been shot at except for you. As a matter of fact, I was the one who took a bullet for you, your own son. So, you need to realize that I got just as much heart and just as much edge as you, and you need to start respecting that shit. And then he puts on his beat, and the dudes are actually vibing with it. They groove into the shit. And then Lucius just sitting there looking all stupid and looking dumbified because, like, bruh, you keep on selling Jamal short, but Jamal is probably one of the most talented is probably the most talented child you have. But you always trying to sell him short. But I like it that Jamal came into his own and let his father know, I'm about that business. So cut the bullshit. And then finally we see that he actually goes along with Jamal's idea. And Jamal lays the tracks. The song is hot. We also have a quick scene, you know, which actually led to him finally coming around to Jamal. We have a scene with him and with Lucius and Mama Walker. Mama Walker is in the medicine cabinet putting some stuff on her neck, and he pretty much has a conversation with her, and he pretty much lets her know that, like, I think, like, me being the way I am, and for me making some of these decisions, this has had an impact on Bella, and I think Bella is gone because of some of the things that I was doing. I was so caught up in my own shit that I really wasn't paying attention to what really mattered. But then he asks her, Ma, do you think I'm a good father? She looked at him and said, you're not even a good person. Like, shit. Be a good person first, and then maybe we can talk about you being a father. But then, all of a sudden, we finally get a glimpse of what she was putting on her neck, and it was skin lightening cream. So I'm thinking, what the hell is going on, Mama Walker? Because that was rather interesting. It was called Eurolight. So it's a cream that gives you a lighter complexion. Later on, we see that they meet up again, and she gives him pictures of his father, and then she lets him know that, look, yeah, she pretty much says that, yeah, you may be all these things or whatever, but one thing about Jamal is gifted. God is in that boy, and you were the one who brought this boy into this world. So that lets you know right there, he's the special one. He's the gifted one. God has his hand on him, and that is what actually gave him, the drive to make it right with Jamal. Because all of a sudden, Jamal comes in the studio and he sees all of these visual print-ups of his grandfather, which motivated him even more to lay the tracks for Father and the Son. Next, I'm going to talk about that damn Andre, because Andre was on crazy from the moment we saw him to the last scene he did. And every single scene, this fool was tripping. The first scene where I definitely remember him is when Anika is like by herself. She's crying and in her feelings, because of the fact that they don't know where Bella is. Next thing you know, we hear somebody come in, and she thought it was Lucius, but it was Andre. Andre proceeds to rush and attack her ass, pins her the fuck down, and says that, yeah, we still got unfinished business. I still have a bone to pick with you after you killed my wife and murdered my unborn child. And she pretty much admits, like, look, I sold my soul to be a part of this family. Just fucking kill me. I don't care. Just kill me. I can't deal with this anymore. I've lost my baby, and she's just at her wit's end. And then all of a sudden, Andre takes his hands off her neck and was like, no, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to suffer. So continue to suffer. And then he finally leaves, and I'm like, Andre need to get on them fucking meds real fucking fast. Next, we actually see that Cookie is trying to flip this deal in Vegas. Instead of it being about the Inferno, she's trying to initiate when Cookie meets Lucius, and that should be the launch of the new Vegas venture, not Inferno. So they meet with the guy DeMarco, who's actually who's pretty much the dealer that they're working with, and all of a sudden, Andre is just going off because Cookie is bringing Lucius into the mix. And he's saying that, look, because DeMarco said, look, if you can bring Lucius to the table, we got a deal. And Andre just flipped off like, I'm not doing nothing with Lucius. I'm not doing shit with Lucius. Lucius is a liar. Lucius is a snake, and I will not work with him. And he's blowing the fuck up. He even gets so crazy that DeMarco's goons was about to fuck him up. And Cookie's like, no, calm, chill. And she's like, Andre, go somewhere. And then all of a sudden, DeMarco's kind of like, the bulls, like something like that, like saying, your fucking son is psycho. So that shit was crazy. Then later on, we see that Cookie approaches Andre and was saying that, I don't know, what the fuck is your problem, but you need to get back on your meds or something because you were tripping. And then he begins to go off like, no, the problem with you is that you were always so quick to say it's about the family, when really at the end of the day it's about Lucius. And you always give in to him, you always do shit for him to screw you over later. And for me, I'm tired of the bullshit and I'm just so over it. But then she lets him know, look, you can't get anything without Lucius. Do you think you're going to be able to do a deal with Vegas with Empire's name and Lucius not be attached to it? Because after all, Lucius is Empire. So we need Lucius right now. And we need to make this deal about the family. I am doing this about the family, so you need to get with it and cut your bullshit before I hurt your ass. And then Nessa decides to chime in and was like, well, I keep hearing it's supposed to be about the family, but where does that leave me? Because I don't hear my name mentioned at all. But while I'm here, you need to stop talking to your son like that. He is not a child. He's a grown-ass man, and you need to show him some respect. And Cookie kind of looked at Andre and was like, I need you to understand what I'm about to do. And the next thing you know, Cookie takes that backhand and slaps the dog shit out of Nessa and said, bitch, don't you ever come between me and my son. And she pretty much tells Andre, get your shit together. And then when she walked out, she said, next time, bitch, hold your mouth. And I was like, ooh. I'm like, Nessa, you got what you deserve, honey. One thing you don't do, you don't come between a mother and her son. And that's one thing that some of these young girls out here need to understand. Like, yeah, you his woman, but that mother brought him into this world. So, know your place and stay in it. Next, we actually have a scene where Andre literally brings Hakeem to the laundromat. Now, we know the scene of the laundromat is where they pretty much do their business and shit. You know, as far as their criminal act, you know, as far as handling their criminal shit. It's kind of like their office. He's going to bring Hakeem there, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, well, I think Hakeem needs to know about what really goes on in the business. And she's like, take his ass up out of here. And what was going on in the back is that they had Angelo back there. But he's like, and then like after all, then in this part, Andre gets in it with Shine and was telling Shine like, look, you need to get your head out the gutter and you need to learn to use your brain. Do you know how to use it? Huh? You know, you need to get out of the gutter and learn to think big. The problem is that you don't think big enough. And Shine was like, Andre, I'm going to need you to calm down. Like, Shine will fuck you up, Andre. Even though you did whoop his ass earlier, Shine definitely will put up a fight. So Shine kind of let him know, like, yo, you need to chill the fuck out. And she pretty much lets his ass know, yeah, you need to get it together, and you need to take it, and you need to get Hakeem the hell up out of here. Then but then also they also had a scene too when I think they was at Cookie's apartment, or I think they were at Empire, where she was going off on Andre again, telling Andre, you need to fucking see your damn doctor and get your meds calibrated and stop your bullshit. And then Portia's like, Andre, I actually know a good doctor for you. And then Cookie's like, Portia, shut up and mind your business. I'm like, oh shit, that was too funny. Then the last scene that I know of is when Andre had a scene with Nessa. And Nessa pretty much lets him know that I get it now. You were just using me. You know, you needed a fresh artist in order to make your play for the company. Now I see the role I played. But, you know, and so therefore your whole means was to control me. But you're not going to control me. And he was letting her know that, look, you could have been lucky, and you still could be lucky, but it is what it is. And then she brings up the fact that then all of a sudden when Juliana came around, you was like a dog sniffing her ass everywhere she went. And he said, look, that's the way I do business. That's how I handle my business. And she just begins, and then he begins to kind of let her know that, look, you know, you could have been lucky, and you still can be lucky. And then he proceeds to kind of push himself onto her, and she's like, you're crazy. And then Lily starts beating him in his chest, and then just runs off. And I'm like, oh shit, now I can definitely see there's about to be a war between Andre and Shine, because you mess with Shine's baby sister, and he don't play about it when it comes to Nessa. So now he realized that he was just using Nessa to get a place in the company. Now Shine really ain't gonna be with it. So we're gonna see how that's gonna play out. Also, we also have a scene where what ended up happening was that Cookie, at the laundromat, they done got Angelo, and Angelo is getting his ass whooped by the goons. And she pretty much asked him, I'm going to ask you one time, where the hell is my granddaughter? And he's like, I don't know. And they start to rough him up some more. And she says that, one thing I could say that your mother said that I was trash, that I was ghetto. She was right. And now you got to see how ghetto and gutter I can get. So, and then he's like, Cookie, you're not going to get away with this. She's like, watch me. She's like, watch me. Beat his ass. Bye, bitch. And they begin to fuck him up. So Lucius, so pretty much Cookie has a meeting with Lucius and tries to pitch the idea that he should do it with Cookie when Cookie meets Lucius and not with Inferno, because with Cookie meets Lucius is about us and about the family, and the whole family needs to be involved in this Vegas venture. The next thing you know, we hear fucking Juliana's ass walks in. She's like, oh yeah, I heard about your little meeting with DeMarco. He called me, and I just realized I had to come back up, I had to come back here, from Vegas sooner than anything, to make sure that things are going smoothly. So, yeah, the original plans will stay, that it's gonna be about Inferno. And then all of a sudden, she looks at Lucius and is like, wow, you done seriously traded off real fast. And then she looks back and is like, I did 17 years for you. And then Juliana's ass had the nerve to say, and we thank you, but I'll take it from here. I'm like, Juliana, you about to get fucked up now, bitch. You already made a war with Cookie. Cookie about to come for that ass. Trust and believe. So the episode ends, the last scene of the episode, Angelo is pretty much is getting his wounds dressed up from his mother Diane. And he's mad. He's like, man, it ain't even about Cookie. I'm going to take all those lions down, that they all end up in jail. But then Miss Diane's like, hold your horses, honey. There's somebody I want you to meet. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Then all of a sudden, he looks, and all of a sudden, his eyes get big. And then the next thing you see, she had fucking Bella the whole fucking time. Bella was with the nurse, and she's like, I want to introduce you to the new member of our family. See, they tried to ruin one of ours, so I took one of theirs. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm like, Diane, you evil fucking bitch. Ooh, like Claire Huxtable done walked on the dark side. That shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, Cookie has got two heads that are gonna roll. One Diane, the another one Juliana. So now Cookie got war on her hands, and I can't wait to see how this is gonna play out, because we now have 2 more episodes. We have 2 more episodes left before the end of the season. So I am so here for what's about to happen. And it seemed to me that, one, she got Juliana to worry about, but now we know that the whole damn time Diana had that baby, and pretty much said that now the baby belongs to us. And that's why, so they got people all over, even in Child Protective Services, which is why they had so many damn cases pinned up against Bella, that they wouldn't be able to track her to find out where she was. So she just got lost in the system. But yeah, this shit's crazy. But that's my review, y'all. If I miss anything, put it down in the comments. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with you for the next episode of Empire. So until then, everybody, take care.